Oh shit, chair's broke. Right, I was sitting about here last time and I was going to clean up some shit because there was shit everywhere. So I'll grab the steady cam and we'll have a quick look at that. Right, yep, I cleaned up and it looks bloody great. Look at that. All that clean bench space. As is usually the case when you clean up, you find some things. I found some fucking good things. An empty drawer. An empty drawer. Another empty drawer. Bit of empty shelf. More empty shelves. Half empty. Yeah, an empty shelf. Mostly empty. More empty shelf. A little bit there. Dead soldier shelf. Yeah, still got a bit of work to do on extension cord storage, but I'm getting there. Yeah, a couple more empty drawers and stuff there. That's for you, Craig. A bit of empty space there, another empty drawer, empty shelves. The fridge is empty, but it'll be full tomorrow. Nice clean card table. And we come back to here, which I had to clean that bench up too, and that'll be where we're going to make a knife, which we'll get to in a minute. Worth mentioning, this is going to be part of Emma's Spare Room Machine Shop's Rough Cut 2022. Emma's awesome. I'm sure everyone knows Emma. If you don't, give her a look. She's fucking awesome. Emma's great. So yeah, that's what'll happen. I'll give this knife away when it's finished. As for the details, I'll tell you about that in another video. If you want to find out, you'll have to keep watching, I suppose. Feel sorry for you. Anyway, for now, I'll get my head out of your face and see what sort of mess I can come up with. Right, so design. That's one of those things where you don't do an old Tony joke. And it's basically, if it looks good, then it probably is. If you've got a specific thing you need a knife for, then use Google, type in knife, type in custom knife, whatever you want, have a look, see what suits your purpose and what looks good to you, and basically no custom knife maker is really going to get annoyed if you borrow from design. That's what do they call it? Free use, that sort of shit. But it's the subtle things that make a difference. You could have this corner more like that, or you could put it out, put that point out here a bit. To demonstrate, I'll grab a really bad analogue for CAD design. I said it would be a bad analogue, but the principles are still the same. The handle's back there. There's your blade, and just just tweak it a little bit. Like I said, very subtle differences. Or you can, you know, you can tweak it a fair bit. You can make all sorts of different changes. One of these things is a handy device. Other device that you want is a French curve. They help massively. Yeah, it's very much personal choice thing, and like I said, what looks good is probably going to be good. So yeah, I like this design. I liked it enough that I made a template. We'll zoom on that in a minute. And again, like I say, that lots of differences. You know, you don't need the brass. That just makes it look prettier. Your pins can be whatever material you want. These ones are aluminium, aluminum, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't care. I call it aluminium, and I like it. It's a good contrast. Yeah, it's good. And the handle can be as thick or as thin as you want it. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever suits you. The finish is another thing. You can have it all shiny, you can have it dark and shiny, you can have it all dark. Again, it doesn't matter. It's up to personal preference. So I imagine some of you might have a go at this, so I'll explain this a bit more, and once we get that out the way, I'll get my tongue out of my mouth, and I'll get back to this. Rightio, so yep, there we go. I can't be fucked doing the conversion, so I'll include a conversion calculator for you, and you can figure it out yourself. But we'll get into the dimensions and that. Worry about that later, That's 25mm, that's 6mm. Quarter inch, an inch. I wasn't going to do conversions, was I? Anyway, holes depends on whether you have the brass bit or not. Obviously, if you're going to have the brass bit, you need 2 holes there, and you want them evenly spaced. If you're not having the brass bit, then you use the other holes. That's pretty easy. That's 17mm, plus or minus however many you want, depending on where you want that line. That angle for 17mm is 4.5 degrees. Use a fucking angle calculator, figure that out. Not that hard. This line, and this line, and those 2 measurements, we'll get into that later. That's probably all you need to know there. So yeah. I use D2 because I came across a, I don't know, 1/3 or 1/5 of a sheet or something, very cheap, so I bought that. 3mm thick. Yeah, it was cheap, so I use it. I've tried other stuff, old saw blades, mill saw blades from a sawmill, old crosscut saws, old hand saws, all sorts of stuff. I've used 01 once, a long time ago, and that's alright. A lot of people use it, so if that's what you can find it. But I like D2 because it's very stable. With something like 01, when you grind your bevel, you can only get so thin, and then you run a risk of it warping when you heat treat. I find that with this stuff, I can get blue on me, but I can get down to 0.5 of a mil along the edge, which is really great, because then all I have to do is sharpen it. I don't have to do any grinding after heat treat, which you might have to do with something like 01, because you can't get quite that thin without a risk of warping your blade. That's why I love it. And yeah, that's about it for there. Right, yeah, I missed a couple of steps and I fucked up. Parallel. You want it to be parallel, because it just makes things easier. That was about all I missed. Right, where I fucked up was this measurement of 25mm and this measurement of 6mm. They're not important, they're arbitrary. What does matter is this line, you want to be parallel to the back, which you can do just, try to get this top edge close to the top. It'll make it easier later. And that's annoying. That's easier. It's not high precision, but you want to be like that. Once you've got it there, weird angles, I know, but you'll deal with it. Slide that in there, nice and solid. This corner is not going to matter because it's going to extend out, something like that. We could make it a bit longer out there, but somewhere about there. That bit can be done. I'm going to do this one without the brass, because if anyone wants to follow along, it's going to be a lot easier without the brass. I'll just mark them out. So A-hole, A-hole, what a fucking A-hole. And the third A-hole. And there you go, you're marked out roughly. We'll come back with a punch and a tick. If you've got shit eyes like me and it's hard to see where you've marked, I've got a piece of drill bit of the right size. I've just ground a very shallow little point on it. I'm really bad at this. Anyway, boom. Oops, moved it a little bit, but that doesn't really matter. Boom. Boom. And that gives me a little point that I can find. Bang, bang, bang. I like to open them up a little bit further with a bigger punch. That's up to you. So yeah, ignore those two measurements and just worry about that line for the moment. This will become clearer why you're doing that later on. So for now, we'll drill some holes. And of course, the 2.3mm bit is fucking broken. So I'll use a 2.2 and I'll deal with that later. Alright, we'll drill some holes. We all know it's not that exciting. I'll do the rest of that off camera and yeah. Alright, quickly deburr then. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. That's all I need. A little bit of tape on the back. Close enough. And I'll probably do for now. I'll stop dribbling shit. I'll come back when I cut this out.